Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Melissa, and today we're going to do a quick little get ready with me video, and I'm going to talk about a new product I've been trying out. I'm going to use a palette I got as a Christmas gift that I haven't shown on my channel yet, and I'm also going to be using one of the foundations from my February lucky bag, the Project Pan Declutter lucky bag. So let's just get started. And maybe at the end I'll include a little special visitor. And before we get too far down the road, I am going to say it's a beautiful day here today, but they're like white puffy clouds in the sky, and so you may see a little variation in the lighting. I've brought out all the big guns. I have every light on that I normally use, so I'm hoping that'll help keep the lighting situation even. And I don't have my fan on, which I know was bothering a few people during my last video. To get the ball rolling, I'm going to go ahead and use a couple of primers. I'm using the Volition Prismatic Luminizing Shield in SPF 30. And I'm also going to use the Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. So I'm wondering, has anyone used any products from this Volition Beauty line? They have quite a handful on the Sephora website, and I've been very happy with this one. So I'm curious to know if you've used anything, what you've used, and what you've liked. I've used this before. I like this little primer because it has the SPF, and it adds a little glow without being like too over the top. Just getting the business part out of the way. This little eye primer from Lorac, which is fine. I know that sounds like I don't like it. It's not that I don't like it, I just don't love it. So here comes the first product I wanted to talk to you about. It is from number 7, and it is the Line Correcting Serum. And I saw this online. It was part of like an Allure article about it where they said 17,000 women in Europe have been on a waiting list for this product, and now it's coming to the United States exclusively to Walgreens. Well, P.S. It's also in Ulta. Maybe it was in Walgreens exclusively for a very brief period of time, but it is available elsewhere. So one of the things that caught my interest, other than that 17,000 people are on a waiting list for this product, is that the claims are that it targets both immediate and long-term aging concerns. It's packed with glycerin and proprietary peptide complex that gradually fills in lines over time. So the claims for this product, I think, are pretty bold. The first claim is that after 1 week, you'll see a visible reduction of lines on the forehead and around the mouth and like at the crow's feet. And then they said after 2 weeks of continuous use, you'll see a reduction of lines above the lips, under the eyes, between the brows, and the nasal labial folds. I'm going to include a link to Stephanie Marie. She's a YouTuber on here that she has a beautiful channel and does a lot of videos. I'm a fan. I think you'll be a fan if you haven't already discovered her. But she also highlighted this product, and I haven't seen a follow-up video from her yet, but she did talk about it and the similarities of this to a Paula's Choice product that had nearly identical packaging. And as you can see, I've used about half of this. So I feel like I can give you a good read on what I think about this product. So first of all, let's just do a little quick demo here. It obviously is trying to mimic the shape of like a needle so that you think, oh, this is going to be remarkable. And you just press a little bit out onto your finger, and it's fairly thin, and I just have been using it under my eyes. This is my worst wrinkly bit, so take a look at that, and then let me go ahead and add a little bit of this on here. I already went and put some on here, and we'll just let that soak in for a few minutes. I have tried this a couple nights on other parts of my face, and it's fine, and it works fine under makeup, but I do feel on its own it feels a little tacky. It doesn't really totally dry down to a very soft, smooth finish, so You know that bedtime thing when you lay down and like you feel like your face is sticking to the pillowcase? I don't like that. I get that feeling with this a little bit. Hence, I just started using it under my eyes where I feel like I have the most prominent signs of aging. So I do feel like you do get some immediate results. You do get a little bit of a plumping effect and a little bit of a smoothing effect. For me, maybe I'm just too far along and this is meant for a slightly younger audience that doesn't have as many wrinkly bits as I do. But I do like it as an under eye cream. I do feel like it helps improve the look of my under eye area and it works well under makeup. I don't think it is a miracle worker. I think you have to be realistic with this, and with a lot of beauty products that make these really lofty claims. I don't think it really meets all of the claims that it makes in its packaging and in that article that Allure did. I feel like it is a really, really good under eye moisturizer. It works really well and it does a great job. But the minute you wash your face or later on the day after it's absorbed this, those crinkly bits are back. So I have been using this for about a month probably, and I don't see any really long-term lasting results. So perhaps if you're younger and your crinkly bits are not as deep or prominent, you might be really happy with this. I will say it's expensive. It's $42 at the drugstore, so I would say this is an expensive drugstore product. I will continue to use this and I will probably use it all up. All right, today I pulled from my lucky bag the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, and the shade I have is Nude Ivory. So this does have like a little paddle applicator, and let's just take a quick look at the shade, which I think is going to be not too bad on my skin. So I am cautiously optimistic. So I'm just going to dot this on my face, get a little drip on my shirt, and use a damp beauty blender to pat that in. It has a funky little smell though. I think the color is good. It looks a little pale in the viewfinder, but in real life, it's probably the lightest I could possibly go. It smells a little musty to me. So let's go ahead and talk about the eyeshadow palette that I got for Christmas. And it is the It Girl palette from It Cosmetics. And I'm trying not to blind you, but oh my God, just take a moment for this packaging. I love this glitter deal happening in this packaging. However, it is prone to a lot of fingerprints, and I polished this up before shooting this video with some eyeglass cleaner. You're welcome, because here's what the back of it looks like, where I did not clean it up. You can see it's covered in fingerprints. And here is the inside of the palette. Again, it's very shiny, so I'm hoping I can hold this at an angle where you can actually see the product without being blinded by the reflection. A++ for the packaging. I love it, even though it gets covered in fingerprints. Who cares? I'm digging it. And I liked the fact that this was kind of an all-in-one palette. It gave you eyeshadows and it gave you face product. The palette is pretty much divided into matte side and shimmer side. The quality of the eyeshadows is not dissimilar to, say, the Naturally Pretty palette. They're kind of tend to be in that mid-tone range. You're not going to get a big contrasty, dramatic look, but you get some really pretty good one shadow looks or very soft, subtle looks, which I think work for a lot of women, truth be told. If they were being honest, that's what they would say. So there are a couple of shades in this that I really love for like a one shadow look. I really like. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch some of my favorites that are great like mid-tone one shadow looks for when you want to get out the door. The first one is Cheers, and it has a little bit of shimmer in it, and it's a little bit on the warmer side, but totally wearable. The next one is probably my favorite in the palette, and it's called Festive. It's like a purpley neutral. I just think that's awesome. That is a color that I reach for a lot. The last two are on the matte side. The first one is Luxe. It's a very pretty soft brown. And the next one is Soiree, and it's a little bit of a cooler brown. These are fabulous. What I like about them is the shimmery ones aren't too shimmery, and the palette doesn't lean too warm or too cool. It has a nice mix, so you can really get a great look out of it. And it also has two great, what I would say liner shades, or really dark accent shades. There's a navy and a black. So let's jump into this eye look. I played around a little bit before filming this video, and wanted to do something that I wouldn't typically do. So I pulled some colors that maybe are a little bit different for me. And I'm going to start by putting a color in my crease, and I'm going to use this very warm shade down here, which is called Chic. It really is just like a cinnamon-like color. Has a little bit of shimmer, but I'm going to go ahead and put that in my crease. So I'm using a really big fluffy brush and just blending that all in my crease so I don't get too heavy. I don't want to deposit too much color in my crease. I just want a nice soft blend. And I think I'm going to take a bigger, clean, fluffy brush and just blend that down a little bit. Next, I'm going to use this gold shade, which is called 14 Karat. I'm going to put that on the mobile part of my lid, probably about three, I don't know, 3/4, and then like blend it out the rest of the way. Now I'm going to go into the black shade called LBD. Nope, wrong brush. Wrong brush. I'm going to go in with a flat shader brush, and I'm going to apply that right here on the outer corner of my lid, and a little bit up into the crease to darken that crease up a little bit. And I'm going to take a fluffier brush and start out without any product on it and just use this to kind of blend around a little bit. Blend. I love the way this blends with that 24 karat. It just really creates a very pretty color. So I did put a little bit more color on my brush, and I'm just tapping it in the crease a little bit. I just want to add a little bit of that darkness, a little bit at a time, because you cannot take it away once it's on. And because I have hooded eyes, I frequently stop and try and look straight on to see how the color is showing above my crease a little bit. This eye tends to be a little bit more hooded, so I tend to go up a little bit higher. You know, it's a whole thing. All right, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to use both of these creamy shades. I'm going to start off with this Pearl. It's called Pearls, and it's the matte shade. Then I'm going to go back in with a skinnier brush and go right up under the arch of my brow with Clink. It has a little bit of shimmer in it, and I think it's going to add a little bit more lift to the eye. So the first Pearl shade is more to kind of blend out a little bit, just to soften that a little bit. Pretty happy with that. I'm getting a little warm. happens when I don't have that fan on and I have all these lights on. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in the brightener, and I'm doing that because this is kind of a dark, look, and I like the brightening effect of this. And I'm going to blend it out with a beauty blender. Now I'm going to go in and finish under my eyes, and I'm going to use a combination of that 14 karat and the black under my eyes because I just really like the way that looks together. So I think I'm going to start off with a smudgy brush with the 14 karat, which is that gold shade. I do need to lean in a little bit and get close so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to work that about halfway under my lower lash line. And then I'm going to go in with this flat brush. So it's got a nice flat edge with the LBT, which is that black shade. And I'm going to hug that a little bit closer to the lashes. Now, before I put mascara on, I'm going to use this color here in the middle for my cheeks. And I traveled with this over the weekend. I had a family event that I went to, and this was what I packed. And I used it all weekend, and it was great. It gave me a lot of different looks, and it was all in one. And actually, I even forgot to bring my hand mirror, so I was able to use this big mirror in here quite nicely, for the most part, to apply. So I used it all weekend. I really liked it, but now I'm looking at it and I'm like, what's going on with that face color? I'm going to hold it upside down so we can look at it together and see. So look in the middle of the palette right here, and it looks like the pinky blushy color might be an overspray. It looks like it's disappearing. Why would you do that? So if you own this palette and you have had the same experience, let me know. That color in the middle is very sheer. And so I'm going to focus on swirling all the colors together. Can you even see it? I guess I can see it. It does offer a really pretty sheer glowy look. I think I would like it a little bit more intense. I'm just confused by that, and it definitely looks like an overspray. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that. So I'm going to go off camera. I'm probably going to put a little face powder on and some mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, and I also added a lipstick. This is the Marc Jacobs in Slow Burn. So this is the finished look. It's a little bit more of a dramatic eye for me, but I like it. I think this palette is a solid B. I think this palette does a great job. I just wish that cheek color had a little more punch to it. I don't know, I just would like a little more color there. So I had to include this little footage of my granddaughter playing with some makeup brushes. I've had it for a while and I just keep forgetting to check with my son to make sure he's okay if I put her on the internet. So, here it is. publish videos every Saturday morning, and I'll include a link to last week's video right up here in case you missed it. And if you're new to my channel, just stopping by for the first time, I would love it if you'd click on this little bee icon here and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you the next time. Bye!